Well, good evening, everyone. And as Mr. Drew does his customary chair spin swivel thing, it is my job, my duty, my pleasure to welcome you to another edition of the Studio Rats Q&A Live. Tonight is number 184, the PRE NAMM special.
So, are we doing next week?
We're not doing next week, but we're going to do two at the weekend. We're going to do a Saturday night and a Sunday night from the show live.
Oh yeah, not a night though.
Well, it'll be 5 o'clock and 4 o'clock. We'll do it.
All right,
American time. So I don't know how that works out, but I say from memory last year, it was one of our most popular shows.
Have you booked that place again?
I've reached out to the media center people today to say, can we have a space, please? And they've said yes.
Nice.
So we'll try and be a little more organized this time than we were last time. But
nice.
Well, you weren't there last time, so I had to be a lot more organized. But yeah, it should be good. We'll have some fun.
Nice. So you all right?
Yeah. It's good. What have you been up to this week?
I'm trying to get as many videos done before NAMM. Yeah, just funny, isn't it? It's funny that the videos that take you like an hour to do, actually not even that. Sometimes
they fly, don't they?
They fly, and the ones that you spend days writing a track for and doing stuff and programming and stuff like that. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's a weird thing. It's a
so do you want to talk about how to upset the internet?
You brought over that monstrosity.
That monstrosity sounded amazing.
It sounded right, actually, didn't it? It sounded all right. We're talking about, just in case you don't know what we're talking about the Marshall JMP1 that I loved when I was younger.
I think when we were about 20.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, mid-20s.
Yeah, and then you bought it over, plugged it in. I was really uninspired with it, but it sounded good. I think it was. We talked about this. I think it was the feel of it more than the. I think sometimes when you plug into something, and this often happens with modelers, certain modelers that have quite a slow response, that you almost don't get the immediacy that you're used to, and the amps that I'm using at the moment have that very immediate attack to them, almost to the point where it's quite revealing on what you play. And then you plug into the JMP1 and it just felt very different. And yeah, so my brain was telling me it didn't sound good when really it didn't feel good.
It felt very 1992.
Yeah. I've had loads of people saying on that thing that the valves don't even matter. I don't think that's true, but apparently, well, some people are saying the valves were just a what do you call it? You know, when something's just there just for show.
Placebo, if
you want. Placebo is a good word for it, I guess.
But I mean, it's like the valves in the valve state, because it's a similar era product. You know, the valves in the valve state were pretty much pointless.
Apparently, would you know who designed the JMP1?
I don't know. No.
Mike Scuffham from Scuffham.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. And someone put that in the comments. Things you learn every day.
The video did really well. And say, I haven't looked at the numbers of patches we've sold or anything like that, but you know, there are 10 lovely JMP1 patches available for Tonex on our website. That's got the first plug-in of the evening.
Hold on, before you go anywhere.
Yeah,
the video was done. Nearly 15,000 views.
That's all right. That's not a bad number.
Yeah. Not a bad number. Right. So that's what I've been doing.
I've been fighting with tech this week. I'm fighting with uploading patches. I'm fighting with processing that's not doing what it's supposed to do. No names mentioned because I'd be shot on site. The studio looks like an absolute tip because I've got stuff coming in and stuff going out again. trying to get the kitchen done before I go to NAMM, and trying to get some work done, and all that sort of stuff. And the kids are playing up, so yay! It's great to be out here on a Wednesday night. Let's get into some stuff, and then we'll get to some more stuff. I suspect there's not that much gear news tonight, because let's face it, who's going to release a product before?
No, there is. There is. There's loads of gear news. Well, there's quite a bit of gear news.
Cool.
I've gone through it. Yeah. Okay. Let's get to it.
Here we go. Boom.
Sound of Vision, a David Bowie tribute show. He says, we're at the Classic Rock Show tonight in Cardiff. How good is Pete Thorne? How good is Pete Thorne?
He is good. Hopefully, I'll catch up with him next week because he will be on our booth at some point.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Pete Thorne is fantastic. Hollywood actress. For any Nuno fans, check out the 15-second clip on here. For some reason, you can't put links, Hollywood.
No.
But again, how good is Nuno?
He goes on to say,
playing his N4 through a Black Star Fly 3 mini amp, £70. Still sounds like Nuno. Homes in the hands and how you play. Absolutely.
Amen, brother.
Absolutely. Al says, good evening, guys. Currently touring through Europe tonight to Germany. Just so popping in briefly to say hello. Have fun at NAMM next week and let us know if there's anything exciting. Cheers, Al. Hope you're well.
We will do.
Johnny Love says, really chuffed today as I sold an amp at a good price. Nice one. Looking forward to the banter in the show. Oh, nice one, Johnny. What did you sell? Let us know what you sold.
Let us know what you sold, and let us know what you're going to buy with the money, because that's what we do.
Sophie says, good evening, Paul, James, and chaps. Evening, Sophie. Hope you are well. Pet says, evening, sweethearts, from a -4 South Wales. Evening, sugar dumpling.
It was -7 when I went out to defrost the car this morning.
It's cold, wasn't it?
Yes.
Kim Lad, he says, hey, Paul, I have a question about EQing an acoustic guitar through my katana. Which frequency should I cut to quell a low-end roar on the 2nd fret of the A string, B note specifically? Now, that's interesting. So you've got like a howl.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So I guess you could do it scientifically by looking up to see what frequency that low B is. I'm guessing it's 440.
A's 440. So
yeah, but is that 440 2nd fret G string? No, it's not. Maybe it is. I'd have a look around the sort of 400 hertz.
I reckon 4 to 500 is normally the danger zone. I would have said.
Oh, see, I'd say 250 to 350.
Oh, okay.
Normal danger zone for me. But this is good. This has gone too geeky. We've got to stop this. Yeah. Okay. What you want to do, Kim Lad, is you want to go into the parametric EQ. You want to turn the Q up. The Q is the spike of the frequency. Okay, so if you boost the frequency and you've got like a low Q, you can think of it like that. If you've got a high Q, it does that. And then you sweep it around until you find that frequency, and you'll hear that howl. It'll be very obvious because you've already got it.
You'll hear, and then you'll hit it, and all of a sudden you go.
Yeah, but it'll be below. To me, it'd be below 500 hertz. You just want to go like that, and then just dip that. The thing is, be careful, because is it the room? Is it the guitar? Or is it the amp? So if it's the room that's resonating at that frequency, then as soon as you go somewhere else, your guitar will sound crap. It will sound horrible because you'll be missing that frequency. Yeah, if it's wherever you go, then it's fine. I used to work in a guitar shop, and when I was a ute, and used to hit a certain chord, and all the guitars on the walls go.
There's a venue in the West End called the Loop Bar, and it's one of these places that's got like HVAC and all that sort of stuff built in.
Mm-hmm.
And anything in A, so if you hit an A chord, the whole place went, ooh, and all the HVAC rattled. So you had to notch out everything in every EQ in the PA to try and stop it doing it. It was god horrible.
Yeah, that's tough, isn't it? And changes when people get in the room as well. Keith says, happy Wednesday all. Hey from a frigid Michigan. Sounds like it's cold everywhere, apart from Australia, obviously.
It's not chilly in Los Angeles by the looks of it.
No, it's nice. That.
Wednesday's going to be like 25 degrees.
Nice. Johnny Love says, the Beato interview with Matteo Mancuso was very cool. I like his unique, like his bass technique, but doing crazy solo. He is, I mean, just unbelievable.
It was. I know it made the reel. There's a bit where he's doing the from the eruption bit, but he's doing it with fingers, and I'm like,
brilliant. The thing is, and I feel like this about the great guitar players, people, you know, the technically great guitar players, people like, whether you like them or not, but Alan Holdsworth, Guthrie Govan, Matteo Mancuso. I mean, there's loads of people, you know, people like that to mention.
Yeah, they
could do anything. There's no, you know, they chose guitar, so that's what they're going to become amazing at. But if they were going to be I don't know, astrophysicist, they'd be amazing at that. It's just they are naturally gifted in that way to do whatever they choose to do. They will do it. They will excel at it.
They have the what I call the practice gene. Because I'm not one of these people who can sit there for 7 hours and practice one thing to get it absolutely perfect. I can't do that.
I think it's more than that. I think it's just a natural ability to be. It's because it's also a brain thing, isn't it? If some people get, some people get stressed. Stress kills creativity because your brain cannot be creative and be stressed at the same time. These people can. It's just a way of switching stuff off. Yeah. And the brain is wired in a way that they can just go and just be fantastic at whatever they choose to do. Mm-hmm. Lucky bastards. Lee, hello, mate. He says, evening all. I'm not saying it's cold, but we're all taking turns in the fridge tonight to keep warm. It's cold, isn't it? Jeff Cook said, good morning from steamy Brisbane. It's not hot enough for aircon, about 32. But it's nice under the ceiling fan. Hope everyone's well. All I can say is, mate, in a couple of months, it'll be your winter.
And it'll be down to a whole 17, 18.
Josh B. He'll look. Have you ever had the Marshall? Okay, have you ever heard the Marshall Astoria? Yes, there's 3 different types of Astoria, though.
Oh.
So there are 3 different types they did. And it's really funny because they don't really get classed as a classic Marshall amp. They were like Marshall's boutique amp.
Right. Okay.
Right. You'll see them. They've got like a racing stripe going over the top.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they did a green one, a red one, and a blue one.
My mate had a blue one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the matching kit 4x12 as well.
He bought 4x12. Wow, I've seen the 1x12. Yeah. Really good, really good amps. I don't know why they're not classics. I'd like to get hold of one. It'd be good to capture.
Yeah, we'll have keep diving into trying to find some interesting amps.
Johnny Love says, yep, Lee warming up in a few days though, thank God.
Yes, it's supposed to, just in time for us to go to LA.
Yes. Nabs, he says, hello musical rats and all, hope everything is dandy. Paul, I love the demo of the Silk Fuzz, awesome. Oh, thanks Nabs. Yeah, I love that. We're talking about it in the news anyway, but that is just redonkulous. Such a great pedal. And it's got a valve in it as well, so what's not to like? Tiffany, what?
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 Who knows? Not me.
Michael Vonhoff says, is a trem pedal worth buying? Please say yes. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's some really good ones. Jam pedals do a really good trem. If you want something that's analog, if you want something that's digital, Strymon do a good one. Strymon do the Flint, I think it's called. It's got reverb as well. Really good. Yeah, there's loads of good trems out there.
Nice.
Oh, a really good one, which it's got on my board at the moment. Jam Pedals Harmonious Monk. It's a harmonic trem, but on the Harmonic Monk version 2, Mark 2, you've got a switch and you can switch it up to harmonic and normal. That's a really, really good trem. And then you get both options then.
Cool.
Michael Von Hoff, the American pizza is the ultimate placebo, according to Frank Zappa. American pizza.
I think placebo is the wrong word. I think oxymoron is probably the right one.
Yeah.
It's like Chinese sushi.
Paul Bradshaw, evening all. Good to see you on an ice, rainy filled day in Luxembourg. The JMP one is a classic. It sure is.
It certainly is. It's already on eBay as well, to be honest. So if anybody does fancy a JMP one, there's one on my eBay channel.
There you go. Mr. Moxie, thank you, sir. He said, share a packet of nuts on your flight on me, lads. Cheers, Pat. Thank you. That's what it's going to be, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it's just being bent over, paying over the price for everything in near Disney.
Oh no! Once we get to Anaheim, yes, but on the flight, because obviously we're flying long haul, so and we're not flying cattle class. We're not quite. Hopefully, it's.
Aren't you? I am sure I am.
No, but it's Virgin. It's not bad. It's not like flying.
Oh, okay.
Could you imagine flying Ryanair all the way to LA?
Oh my God!
It's bad enough for an hour's hop over to France or Belgium or somewhere, but oh God.
Yeah.
Right, boom.
Mississippi Blue says, evening, the Studio Rats. I know it always spell checks the TRS as opposed to TSR. And all, there's some cool looking guitars on the next Gardner Hoolgate auction. Is there? I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't looked yet. It's probably the early, what's it? I'll have a look after this because
nice.
Yes, I like that sort of stuff. So the daft thing is, though, I'm getting rid of guitars.
Good.
I'm getting rid of guitars, and I want to buy more amps because I've got a reason to have those. If you know what I mean.
My gosh.
I'll have a look at the next auctions though, very very shortly.
Gary says it's surprising how a pile of cheap leftover guitar parts found in a friend's basement can actually make a decent guitar. Squire Affinity telly body with a Starcaster Strat necks and Fender pickups. Nice one.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, let's see that. Michael says been camping in Vianden, Luxembourg. Nice there. Nice.
Whoa, but that's chilly.
Well, he's camping now. What craziness is this?
Well, quite a lot of craziness if you ask me.
Timothy FD says, when running a stereo rig, what's the best speaker placement? Thanks. Oh, good question. Do you mean like
either side of the drummer?
Yeah. The thing is, you can go too wide, and it feels like there's a big hole in the middle. So I would say enough to get a nice stereo width. Either side of the drummer is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, the bass player normally must be next to the drummer, doesn't he? So
bass band I used to play with, the guy had a JMP one, a Marshall 9200, the 200 watts, and a 4x12, but it was cut in half, and he had two halves of the 4x12 either side of the drums.
Excellent.
And it was really good. It was a really good rig.
Nice. Chris says, evening guys, evening Chris. Derek Handy says, I had my Boss GT1 delivered this week. I only have a Boss Cube Street EX to put it through. I've tried all the connections available, so I've chosen to use the line in stereo with only a volume. So it's got its Boss GT1. Nice.
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah, nice one. Davros Halfbeard. Hi guys, new PRS tuning pegs and Gibson amps. They do sound no bad, lol, and pricey, but not mental, lol. Yeah, if I got the PRS, I might have the PRS thing up. Yes, I think I have. Yeah, in the news.
Cool. But and the Gibson amp, it looks quite nice.
Yeah, I think they sound really good. They sound really good. Quite expensive.
Yeah,
but we'll talk about that. Yeah. Derek says, I don't know. Is it a combo amp or small amp? Ideas, please. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's go back to Derek's first question. Is Boss GT1 delivered this week? It needs a Boss Cube EX to put it through. I've tried all the connections available, so I've chosen to use the line in with only a volume. Yeah, so the GT1 has got a preamp. It's got preamp built in and effects. I think what you want to, unless you want to have access to the EQ and stuff that's on the Cube, I would go line in. And I'd if you can do as well, you can also go and get another Cube. Oh, actually, the Cube 3EX is stereo, isn't it?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. The only Cube I used was a very long time ago.
Yeah. Actually, I think I lent them to Greg. I think Greg's still got my. He hasn't done any videos on them.
Don't know.
Here we go. Okay, we'll have to have a chat with Greg about that.
I'm seeing him on Friday, so.
Okay. Yes. So just I don't know, is it combo amp or small amp? I did, please. I don't quite understand, Derek, but you just got to try out every single option. And I know sometimes you want someone to say this is the right way of doing it, but sometimes the right way, which is going into the line in and just using the volume from the Cube, you might want to use the preamp or the EQ from the Cube. So no, nothing's right, nothing's wrong.
There is no right and wrong with these things, is there? That's the dangerous thing.
Ned says, good evening, James and Paul, and everyone else in the chat. Always fun to spend Wednesday evening with you and you, Ned. Cheers, mate. Cyanide Junkie says, I've officially declared missing the Studio Rats Q&A live illegal in my house. Looks like you're stuck with me, gents. Absolutely love you guys. Cheers, mate. Thanks for joining us. Keith says, open A strings, 110 hertz. There we go. According to the internet. Take that for what it's worth. So, yeah, second fret G string will be 440. So it's not, though, is it? I mean, your B is not, it might resonate. It'll be harmonics of that.
Yeah.
So say that B is 127 hertz, whatever it's going to be. It's not going to be that's ringing. It's going to be a harmonic of that. So around about probably 200 something hertz. Derek says it's warm here in southern Spain, 21 degrees today with rain showers. Nice.
Yes, very lovely.
Very nice. Patois Nikki says, even chaps, you rarely talk about plugins. Being Studio Rats, are there any plugins you can't live without?
Oh, loads. Loads for me.
Lexicon 224 from UAD is my favorite plugin.
Waves CLA drums. Instant drum parts.
Right.
Actually, Waves CLA bass, instant bass, because it's got distortion in it. You can dial in a really nice CLA style distortion and just get it cut for a mix. What else? Well, the two plugins that I said I did a video on for TSR Driver Talks Tech, the Avid Pro Limiter is on every mix, and Isotope Tonal Balance Control 2 is on every mix. I know they're kind of just sort of like sum and balance checky plugins rather than actually doing anything creative, but they are on every single mix I do. Maybe I'll do a video on just like my mix technique, my sort of my template. There's a video in that, isn't there?
Yeah.
I was watching an Iron. You know how everyone goes on about live tours and they record millions of tracks and they've got 75 tracks of drums and there's audience mics and yada yada yada. Kevin Shirley was talking about how they recorded Iron Maiden live. How many tracks do you reckon for Iron Maiden live for the 2-night rockin' Chili video? How many tracks?
Okay. 6, 8, 20, 25.
Well, it was 43. But 19 of those were drums. Because Nico's kit is huge.
Of course. Yeah.
9 toms. But, for a huge live DVD, a massive concert, 43 mics. That's the right number for a rock band. You know, not 130 tracks.
Yeah, it's craziness.
And bear in mind, there's 2 keyboard parts as well, because one of I think it's Dave Murray's roadie also plays keyboards.
Ah, nice.
So, but anyway, it was one of those asides. Kind of, I genuinely thought there would be hundreds of tracks, and it's not. It's, you know, under 48.
Nice. Johnny Love says the amp I sold was a UK hand-wired Bluebird Dumble 50. The Bluebird amps aren't that well known and not made now, but it was too similar to my red plate blues machine. To kept the red plate. Nice. Don't know the Bluebird.
We know the red plate though. Oh, I'd like a red plate.
Oh, I like the red plates. Like the red plates.
Maybe that if he's at NAMM, there's a relationship to rekindle there, isn't there?
I do like those amps. The Elmwood, he says, hello guys, I listen to your music in demo gear. How much output gear do you use to get it to sound so clear? I struggle in the box. Output gear. Okay. So if you mean the music, not a lot. I mean, everything is. So I don't think any of the tracks have been recorded with output gear. Maybe the drums. Yeah, your drums would have been.
Yeah, they would have had EQ on the way in from the desk.
Yeah.
And possibly a tiny bit of compression on the toms.
Yeah.
And then
and
a bit of Dolby A on the room, but other than that,
everything was mixed. Everything was mixed in the box. So I stopped using outboard gear. I was fanatical about it. I bought like preamps, compressors, like loads of like high-end outboard gear, and then
I don't know what you mean, Paul. I have no idea what you mean.
For me now, it's great. It's lovely to have, and the tactile response of it's fantastic. The way that you can just get in there and touch things as opposed to using a mouse, which is. But that's all it's good for now.
That's used for tracking. None of that gets used for mixing.
Mixing, yeah.
It's for tracking.
Don't need it really
anymore. And genuinely, if I track a vocal, I will track the vocal through the Pultec and the LA2A, and that's my vocal chain. But what a vocal chain! By the way, it's not a real Pultec and it's not a real LA2A, but it's close enough for me.
Yeah. In terms of demos of gear, no, there's no outboard gear. Everything goes through. I use Universal Audio Apollo just to record everything. Everything gets plugged into that, including the mic preamps and all that sort of stuff. It's all built in. I got obsessed about that, and then I spent like the sort of money that I spend on guitar gear I had in studio gear, and then realized that I didn't really need it. And
but it changed. The times they changed. Because because plugins got really good really quick.
Yeah.
Because there was for a long time, plugins were a bit naff.
Even so, you can look at old plugins like Arvox from Waves. That's still a great plugin. It's got sound about it. I like it.
And our comp and our Renaissance, but what was the bass one? The bass enhancer one.
Our bass, yeah. Our
bass. Brilliant plugins. I know they've updated them to keep them fresh and up to date with current OSs, but really good plugins.
Yeah.
So for me, reverbs were the last plugins to become really good, and now they are really good. They were always a bit grainy, a bit kind of crunchy and stuff, which is why I bought an M7. But actually now, even there's like the what's it called? What's the Bricasti emulation? Liquid Sonics Dream, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's really good stuff.
Yeah. Safety says, would round trip latency matter at all if you're using outboard saturation, EQ, or compression? Yes, because it's not the gear that it's going through. It's not the saturation or the EQ or the compression. If it's analog, it's the fact that it's digital. It's in your computer. Then it comes out. It goes digital to analog. So it's got to come out of your sound card, out of your interface, go into those pieces of equipment, which is analog. So it goes D to A into that, and then comes back A to D back in. I mean, you say massive, it's not massive, but you.
Well, it depends what your buffer size is set to.
Exactly, yeah. Modern computers can handle it now.
Yeah.
Not that you'd know, I don't know. It depends on how many tracks you've got going as well. How much work the computer's doing, how much processing is going on there. But yeah.
And the other thing a lot of people forget is that if you're recording, let's say you're recording one microphone at a time, you're not stressing the hard drive at all to do that. If you're and the hard drive connection and all that sort of stuff, if you're recording 48 mics all at the same time, so people forget often that the bottleneck is actually at the drive. It's not your computer, it's not the processing, it's the drive that will send up the spaz error on your DAW. So good fast drives connected in a modern up-to-date kind of way, be it Thunderbolt or eSATA or however you're connecting them, depending on PC or Mac or whatever. But yeah, good drives, very important.
Cyanide, he says, it's so cold here in Pennsylvania. I just saw a politician with his hands in his own pockets.
But Tish.
Nice. Scrunge, he says, having moved to a 2-bed apartment, my amp days are sadly behind me now due to noise limits. Do you think a good modeler like Helix or just plugins, e.g. neural DSP, is the way to go? Budget is not a problem. If budget is not a problem, if budget's not a problem, I wouldn't go for Helix. Helix is really dated now. It's yeah. So if you've got a decent computer, you can go neural DSP. You're going to get some good results out of that. If budget's not a problem, you might want to have a look into AxeFX, maybe like an AxeFX 3 or the FM9. They're the top end, or maybe like a neural DSP Quad Cortex, if that's the way you want to go as well.
There's lots of speculation, obviously, with NAMM coming next week. I watched, I think you might have done as well, there was a podcast that Gregoire forwarded to us about the potential speculation for what might be coming next week. And there's an awful lot of, speculation that Neural might be bringing out a new piece of hardware.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because let's face it, Kemper, if they've put their hat in the ring already, haven't they, with the Kemper player?
Yeah.
I suspect they're not going to release anything else at NAMM. Because why would you do that? You just, your marketing department aren't that daft.
Yeah.
Neural have kept their cards very close to their chest.
Neural aren't going to release anything.
I don't think they are. I think it's too soon since they've got Quad Cortex right.
Well, they haven't even finished the plugin integration.
Yeah.
No, not the editor, the plugin integration.
So yes, exactly. But I'm wondering if they'll do that, if that'll be what they release.
Yeah, they're not going to release anything new. That's not going to be.
But
they've just done a new plugin as well. They're not.
But one point that I think it was called the Guitar Podcast, Guitar Friends Podcast, something like that. And I'm really sorry for getting the name wrong. One thing they did say is that the question of how many people do captures and how many people do captures properly. Now, you and I know how challenging and how difficult it can be to do captures really well. And I'm using the phrase captures because that's the unlicensed term, isn't it? But be it captures, be it amp modeling, whatever. It's really hard to do well because you need to know about recording chains and microphones and mic placement and all that sort of stuff. You have to have a good room, yada, yada, yada. It's not easy to do. So I wonder how many people actually do their own captures, because you've got to have a good amp to do in the first place, or you do what I'm very grateful that a lot of you guys out there are doing and buying our captures, or you buy Tone Junkies captures, or you buy for Tonex, be that hardware or software. With Scrunge's question, he said about software. The Tonex plugin is brilliant. Most of the time, I play our Tonex captures, our patches, through the Tonex software.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really
good.
good.
It's really good.
The same.
Arguably,
it is exactly the same.
And arguably could be better depending on what interface you've got. It's probably arguably better. Sorry,
we got a little off.
We've gone off on one.
But I mean, certainly, I don't think you should be worried about modelers, or and if you're not worried about budget, the first place I would go would be Axifex, because it's the best.
Or what you could do, if you like amplifiers, you could just get a like a load box, something like the 2 Notes Torpedo Studio.
Yep.
And then you can plug your amplifier into that and basically run your amplifier as a plugin.
You can't get a Torpedo Studio anymore, but you can get an aux.
That'll be coming out. They've been talking about. I mean, I got told. Look, listen, I've had enough of keeping quiet about it. I got told that 2 Notes Torpedo, the 2 Notes are bringing out the successor to the Studio years ago, and they said keep it quiet because we've got this coming out. It's been like 4 years, so that's got to be coming out. So 2 Notes will come out with something different. Yeah, I mean, I'd do that if you like amplifiers. You get an aux box, something like that. Yeah, and if you're not worried about that and you want everything built in, have a look at the newer DSP Quad Cortex. I think that would be a good option, way better than a Helix.
Yeah, cool.
RL Lynch says, love your channel. Did you get to profile the overdrive reverb? Cheers, RL. I have done a capture of it, but for my own use. I feel, because I've got a relationship with Amplified Nation, that I'd really need. I wouldn't want to piss him off and release some captures. So I've just got to wait for the right time to speak to Taylor and see if he'd mind us doing that. I personally don't think he would, because I don't think the people that do captures will be interested in buying his amps, and also it can lead to someone that tries the captures might go, that's the amp that I want, and then and then they go. I think that's what normally happens, but I think I need to be slightly careful in just releasing some captures for it. But, yes, at some point they will definitely be that, and the Wonderland Overdrive as well, which is different as well. Which I've got both of them now. And they're really good.
Very lovely.
Yeah, they're great. Nick Torres says, hey guys, I'm thinking of buying a good laptop, i7 32GB RAM, to use as my rig for jazz bar style gigs with newer DSP plugins, vocals and backing tracks. Any useful advice? The only advice that
get a great interface with absolutely rock solid drivers.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is just get a Mac. And I know some people don't like to hear that, but that's more my own lack of knowledge. I just remember growing up having PCs on doing audio on PCs, and I know things have changed, and I know the problems that used to be because of PCs. So I would always go Mac now, even though PCs are probably fine, but I would still always go Mac.
I would also go Mac, and I would suggest something like a Universal Audio Twin.
Yeah,
would be
thing about the Mac is that they are rock solid when it comes to crashing and stuff. They don't crash, or rarely. I'd say my Mac hasn't crashed. It's never crashed.
My Mac only crashes when I do something stupid, and it's normally me who's done the stupid thing. I've gone, yes.
Yeah. No, good luck though. Yeah, let us know what you do. Hicks Coon says Supro does a really good tremolo pedal. Nice one.
Nice.
The Elmwood, good cheap trem, Walrus Audio Monument. Nice. Warsaw did great stuff. Yeah. Hollywood says, did you profile the JMP1 for Tone X? Yes, James did. Yes.
Yes.
Also, if I can get to a future studio get together, I will bring my ADA MP1. Oh, nice one.
That would be very cool. I know I've been going on about this. It sounds like I've been bashing that drum for a while, but we're so close to finishing here now. So we will be able to do the first Studio Rats Events Day, the studio day. I'll get Paul, we'll get Ben over, and we'll do some stuff, and it'll be fun. And we'll even provide food and stuff, and even beer, because there'll be a fridge.
Wow. K Michael P says, how did driving Paul? How did K Michael P? A cold 15 degrees in Florida. Wow, that is cold.
What I'd give for 15 degrees right now.
Oh yeah, I'd love it. But it's cold for over there, isn't it?
Right, don't answer this. We're going to do it on 3.
Don't expect it. Stop. I'll let you answer for me then, because you know what I'd say about
1, 2, 3, Tonix.
But Tonix doesn't do all the effects that you can get from the HX Stomp. So you just got to work out what your priority is. Do you want great tones or do you want effects?
Also, do you want 2023 or do you want quite a lot older than that?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you when the Helix, the HX Stomp came out, but it ain't a new product, is it?
No. Paul, I think you may have missed the boat on the PJD a bit. Why have I missed the boat on the PJD? Looks like your Krautster with a telly neck and used to come with cream tea pickups. Yeah. I'll be surprised. I don't want to upset anybody here, but I'll be surprised if the PJD is the same quality. I know PJD had some issues. I think it'd be very different sort of build quality to the Nick Huber stuff.
That Nick Huber is another level.
But not even that one. If you can ignore that one, if you you just think of
that Les Paul style we tried at Guitar.
Yeah, the Orca, yeah,
was just stunning.
Yeah, no, but those PJDs, they look great. They look great. I think it'd be one of the things. I think it would be that you could find a great one. You could find an absolutely amazing one, probably like your one. It will be amazing, and then you could try a different one. And I think consistency. There's been some consistency issues. That is why there's been quite a lot of companies that have had stuff with PJD and those guys. I don't want to say too much. I can't say too much.
Stop there.
I should probably stop there. Pet says, with a view to expenditure, what would your 30-year-old selves tell your teen counterparts? Do you like
what you did there? Thanks, Pet.
Tell your teen counterparts, speaking for myself, it will be slowed down. It's not a race. That's a good one. What would you do? Oh, I know. I know what it is. 80s hair metal is not going to last. That'd be my one.
Oh, Paul's was going to be hair is not going to last.
And that as well.
I think mine would be don't doubt yourself.
Yes.
Don't overanalyze. If you think you're right, believe in yourself. Because not to the point of arrogance, but you've some self-confidence goes a long way.
Yes. Nice one, Pet. You can always rely on Pet to come up with a good question. Derek says, I've got a few solo gigs coming up spring into summer. Your opinion of line array, e.g. Evolve 50M or Yamaha 600BT twin speakers? Is it better to have a spread of the speakers or the solo speaker? I know nothing about line arrays and stuff.
I don't think these are line arrays like we think of them. I think these are like the kind of bows.
Oh yeah.
Now I was absolutely, oh my god, how can that possibly work? And then I heard some of that sort of stuff and went, wow, it sounds really good, doesn't it? So I haven't tried these particular speakers or brands or types or whatever, but I would say if you go somewhere and you try it and you like it, it's probably going to work. What I'd also say is build up a relationship with the person you're going to buy it from or the company you're going to buy it from. And there's a fair chance that if you're serious enough, they will let you borrow it on approval, or they might bring it to a gig for you, because you don't want to buy something. And this is the benefit of having a relationship with a shop. You can do stuff like that. Don't go asking Toman or Sweetwater to lend you kit for a gig for you to try it, because it's just not going to happen. But if you have a good relationship with your local music shop and the place where you want to buy this thing from, there's a fair chance they'll lend you kit, or they might have some demo stock you can borrow or try, all those sort of things. So while I don't know the answer, that's the best I'm going to throw at this point.
Nice one. Scrunch says, since Relish guitars have now gone, do you think cream tea will follow? Discounts are now common. I can't.
Careful. Yeah.
I can't say too much. But all I'm going to say is, think what was great about Relish. Just because a guitar brand has gone doesn't mean the technology has gone.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say. That's all I can say at the moment.
Yeah. Move on.
Patois says, thanks for your response of reference plugins. Oh, by the way, actually, there's a cream tea guitar on its way for review.
Oh, nice.
With the changeable pickups with a bunch of reviews, and there's a set of pickups to give away.
Ooh, nice.
So
that'll be post NAMM, presumably.
I think it'll arrive. It should have. I think they're arriving. It might arrive tomorrow.
Right.
But anyway, yes. The review will be post NAMM. Yeah. Patois says, thanks for your response. Reference plugins, James. You should 100% do a video on plugins. Extra questions to both. If you had to pick one book related to music theory or guitar technique, what would it be? Gosh, I never really got on with books.
That's why one thing you should do, if you haven't already, sign up, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff for our sister channel, TSR Jivey Talks Tech, because that's where all the plug-in type stuff happens, not necessarily, as in all the production-y type stuff happens rather than this channel. And the reason we started it is because it messes with the algorithm. If we start putting too much production-y drum stuff on this channel, it just goes horribly wrong. So TSR Jivey Talks Tech, or just there. Right. Music books.
Do you remember Bert Whedon's Tune a Day?
Bert Whedon's Playing a Day.
That was it. Something like that. And I remember. Do you remember the speed thing? Or maybe it was a video I saw, and it was literally how to play fast.
Yeah. Did you
ever
see Roland Riveron's Mickey take though, where he got what was his name?
Yes, Gary had all of them there.
Gary Moore was in it. Dave Gilmour was in it. Lemmy was in it. That wasn't Bert Whedon. That was the country guy, Streets of London guy.
Mel Bay. No.
Someone will no doubt will put in the comments. Hilarious.
Anyway, Bert Whedon's How to Play Fast was this. It was brilliant. It was just like I was expecting, like, I was going, oh my god, I'm going to learn how to play fast.
So it was really bizarre. But my first ever NAMM, and it's funny that obviously with NAMM coming up, I met my first guitar teacher because I bought his book. And
Oh.
I met at NAMM Wolf Marshall.
Oh, cool.
And that was the first book I bought, and it taught me enough stuff. So actually, I'd say Wolf Marshall's guitar, I think it was called the Rock Guitar Method, was
Nice.
the guitar book that got me, gave me enough techniques to be able to play in tune, and taught me about solos and phrasing and stuff, and gave me enough technique to be able to move around the neck. So that would be my advice.
Nice. Jeff, he says, I want wet, dry, wet with the ES8. I thought the wets would come from the stereo output, the ES8, and dry would come via a gig rig humdinger splitter in a patch that's always on. Would that work? Yes, I guess it could if the humdinger has got an in and an out, which it has. Yeah, that could work. I'm trying to think there's any other way you could do it. I can't think of another way you could do that with an ES8 because you've only got two outputs. Yeah, I mean, I guess gig rig, they've got that. If you go and get something like the G2 or 3, probably the 3, it's probably got loads of outputs you can use because they're really clever.
Yeah.
Jamming for good, your favorite overdrive pedal?
Marshall Blues Breaker.
Mine at the moment, if it's overdrive, it's probably that at the moment, which is the Kernan Ridge. It's really versatile. Fuzz, the Silt, that's my favorite pedal at the moment. But go and check out the video that I did, got released yesterday, I think it was.
Nice.
I love that pedal. That's really good. Yours?
Marshall Blues Breaker.
Oh yeah, Blues Breaker's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or the Governor.
The Governor's a distortion, though, isn't it?
I love the Governor.
The Governor's great.
I don't know if it is. I don't know. I guess hard clipping or soft clipping. I don't know what the Governor is.
But the Blues Breaker is just yeah.
It's lovely. They're great. Tone Dragon, afternoon, gents. Have you seen John Cordy's videos about plugins and mic preamp level? No.
Yes, I have, and I am currently talking with the guy who John Cordy talks about in the video, about doing a video for us or with us. And it's basically all to do with how you have the gain on your preamp set in order to drive the plugin in the way the patch was designed to be used.
Okay.
It's I mean, when I had a chat with Edward, I think his name is on the top of my head. When I had a chat with him, it took an hour and a half for me to get it. And I'm reasonably smart.
Right.
But yeah, it's coming.
Patois says, Tone Dragon, great question. The video from Cordy sent me down the rabbit hole. However, I'm glad about I was overdriving all my plugins. There's really some bad gain staging advice online.
There's a lot of bad stuff online. I mean, there's two very distinct schools of thought. There's if you get the sound you want, it doesn't matter. There's also the school of thought that says, but surely you want the sound that the person producing the patch has heard. And while systems like Tonex, when you do the captures, it gives you a kind of a golden range, an input and output golden range to line up to, which is how we do it. There is some mathematics and some cleverness you can do to make sure it's always perfect. So yes, that video is going to happen post NAMM. I'm going to reach out to the chat I've been speaking with and get that in the diary for when we come back.
Yep. Aristotle says, actually, Helix is nowadays like brand new. It's gone through so big updates that it's like a new machine. Yeah, and I'm not saying they haven't updated the software. They have. The only thing is, and there's a term for this, and James, you might be able to help me with that. It's the amount of time. So if you think when a processor is designed and built, and then what happens, like how much technology moves on in a year, 2 years, 3 years.
It's called Moore's Law.
Moore's Law. And it is like, so you can think of the processor that was invented when the Helix came out, you can think of it. I mean, how can we explain it?
So
It's almost
imagine the first Intel chip in your computer. How far Intel got in 5 years, how they've got in the next 5 years. It's an exponential curve. It always is. That's the way computing power goes. A Helix or any kind of processor is just a computer with a dedicated software package. And the same thing is true. So while, yes, I saw a thing today that said one of my processors, I've got an old Yamaha SPX 990, which I love. I'm going to do a video on that thing because it's awesome. But it's 25, 30 years old. And it's never going to sound as great as modern plugins, or it's never going to sound as great as the Bricasti. The Bricasti is very much an oddball in this because Bricasti have been around a while. But I've also got an old Alesis Wedge, the one that looked like a lark. And it should sound awful, but it sounds amazing because it had a sound of the time.
Yeah. And that's not to say the Helix is bad. It's definitely not bad. The Helix is great. But things have moved on. When Line 6 come up with the Helix version 2, it's going to be ridiculous because Line 6 are geniuses.
Yeah.
And the Helix is great, but it's getting a little bit long in the tooth. That's not to say they're not updating the software, they're updating the algorithms and all that sort of stuff.
But they're not updating the hardware inside it.
Exactly. Just the whole A to D stuff, all of that sort of stuff. And that's not to say it's not great. Loads of people can get some amazing tones out of it. And it's great.
JMP1 sounded good after recording. It didn't feel good at the time of recording.
And that's analog. I'm guessing that's all analog.
Probably, actually, yeah.
The Elmwood says that is a nice looking guitar, though. That PJD, isn't it?
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Scrunch says, check out a Rev D20 tube amp with 2 notes built in. Have one and use as my primary for recording. Yeah, I've both James and I used to have D20. It's great. Really good amps.
Really good.
Really good.
That's one of those I shouldn't have sold it amps, isn't it?
Yeah, really good. David Brost, he said G3 in San Bernardino on Thursday night for like a 50-mile drive after 23 hours in the air. G3, who's that? Is that Bisatch and who's?
I don't know who the third G is.
Yeah.
The thing is, San Bernardino's on Route 66, so you can genuinely say I've driven a Route 66, which would be cool, but not after it's 11 hours in the air. But it's still painful.
Yeah. Awesome though. Have a great gig, Dave. K Michael P, I'm hearing a lot of people ditching Fractal for Quad Cortex lately. Yeah. I think Fractal need to come up with the next thing. But Fractal
But they have. We're on. They've had FM3, FM9. We're on AxeFX version 3. They have done stuff.
Yeah. They tend to update the processing power inside the units. Stephen James says, hi guys. So tell us a bit about what accessibility at NAMM you will get to the suppliers. Or are you doing it just as public viewing? Do you get to know about new products before you get in? Yes, there are some products I know about before we go in, and there's some products we won't know about. I guess it depends on your relationship with companies.
I mean, as media, and I'm lucky. I get 2 badges. I've got my AIM Audio badge, which is my booth exhibitor badge, which gets me one lot of info, but I've also got a media pass, which is the same as Paul's got, which gets us on the press release list and all those sort of things. So they're already starting to filter through with "do not release until start of NAMM" all over them.
There's a piece of equipment that I've already been sent that I've got to do a video of that gets released at NAMM, but I can't talk about it until after NAMM. So my video can't come out until the 31st, I think.
So we get a little bit of a heads up, and obviously Paul and I have been doing this for a long time to have good relationships with brands and suppliers and stuff. So we get a bit of a heads up. But yeah, some brands do not let it go until you rock up at the show, and we get the same exposure to it as other people visiting NAMM. I would say Joe Public, but it's not a public show. You have to be trade, or you have to pay 115 quid a day, $115 a day.
Not money, isn't it?
And as a friend of mine said, it's more money for less gear.
Yeah. Keith says the FM9 is no longer in the Fractal store. Wow. So I wonder if they're coming with something new. Johnny Love says, for Scrunge in his apartment, the Thomas Blue amps sound great at all volumes, and there's a room with the Ampex is nearly ready. I'm hoping he's going to be at NAMM with that.
It will. It was at NAMM last year, but it wasn't ready.
Yeah, he really needs to get that.
Can you do the next couple? Because I desperately need a wee.
Sorry. All right, there we go. Paul Bradshaw, he says FM9 Turbo has replaced the FM9, which is probably or FM3 Turbo replaced FM3, for example. Yeah, but I'm guessing that they'll be coming out with something fairly soon, because the AXFX 3 has been out for some time now, and that's their flagship unit. Which is probably why it isn't in the show. Excellent. Right. Gary says, hey gents, good day, been a while. Sorry, work was getting in the way. New gear day for me. Ibanez, I love Ibanez's naming. AZ2204 NAWD. So I've got to try and decipher this. So it's an AZ, which is the type of guitar it is. NAWD. What? So that normally says what color it is, and I cannot even decipher that. I don't know. That sounds awesome, Gary. Yeah, take a picture. I'd love to see that. Keith says no FM9 Turbo either. Ooh. Unless I wonder if they're coming up with something for NAMM, which would be cool. Because their stuff. Once you try like a AXFX unit, it's astounding. I recently got rid of my one. Gordon Parrish says, I'm curious as when Line 6 will be bringing out new hardware. I love Helix, but my friend's Fractal units always get my attention. I'm reluctant to move over to Fractal in case a new Helix is due. It's always that thing. There's always that. And I get it as well. I completely get it. So basically, James, the question is, Gordon's, he wants to have a look at Fractal, but he's worried that the new Helix unit will come out and then he'll prefer that instead. There's always that thing about you never know when, it's like when you buy something, you go, especially something like the AXFX 3, you never know whether the AXFX 4 is going to be coming out next week, and then you just pull old technology.
The trick is certainly with software stuff that is software upgradable, as in firmware upgradable, things like that, is to buy when you see the manufacturer doing a sale. That's the time to buy the old tech if you want a deal.
Yeah,
because they're about to release the new thing, and what they'll do is they'll just dive to get rid of the old stock.
Yeah,
they'll dive for price, and that's when you get a deal. Or what you do is, if you're in the second-hand market, which I know Paul and I generally are, as soon as the new thing comes out, that's the time that people get rid of the old thing on eBay or the auction sites, and that's when you nip in and get a steal that way.
The thing is, there's still people using, like big bands using AXFX 2.
Yeah.
And they're great.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't worry about it too much, although I can definitely see your point. But just think, when AXFX 4 comes out, it's going to be over $3,000.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of money, and the price of AXFX 3 will dive to about $1,000, I would have thought.
Yeah. I don't think it'll dive to $1,000, but I bought my AXFX 3 secondhand. I bought it for $2,000 and sold it for $2,000. That's why I buy secondhand, because you're not going to lose money on it. I wouldn't try not to buy. I like to buy secondhand. That's not to say you shouldn't buy new.
Yeah.
Keith, Paul says, Keith, indeed, they're sold out. There we go.
Which could be an indication they've got something new coming, because they've decided. Yeah. At this point, we should go.
Mr. Parish, he says, the reason I'm reluctant, as I'm a Helix user for 6 years, and I'm used to the workflow and the way Helix operates. And Helix is great. Yeah, definitely, mate. I mean, look, I would say if Helix isn't, if there's not a new one at NAMM, Yamaha, who own Line 6, they spend a lot of money at NAMM. It makes sense for them to release those products at NAMM. If they're not, if they haven't released a new Helix at NAMM, I wouldn't say Helix is coming out for another 6 months.
Yeah, and
send up a wheelchair pillow. Thanks, guys. Thanks to both of you. Small gesture of my appreciation to the show. By the way, can you compare your level of love between the Focus Fuzz and the Silk Fuzz? Major differences. I've got to say the Silk. I just love the Silk. The Focus Fuzz, which I've got over there, and I do use it, really good. I've just got it. Just something on that I just bonded with that. And someone else might try it and they go, "That's not for me. I prefer something else." But that to me does everything a fuzz that I want out of a fuzz, and I don't have to put up with the fuzz's eccentricities, if that's the right word. Yes. And you can have this anywhere in the chain as well. I didn't mention that in the video, but you can have it anywhere in the chain, which a lot of fuzzes you can't.
Nice. Let me just get into. Hang on, I'm lost. Boom, there.
Aaron says, "Hey guys, I'm NAMM excited. Where are you staying when you arrive?" Yes, us as well, mate. We are staying at the
Sonesta,
Anaheim Resort Area Hotel,
which is
Manchester
on South Manchester Avenue. About 10 minutes walk to the convention centre. So we're far enough away to be far enough away, but close enough to walk it. The mistake I made last year was to be the wrong side of Disney, and oh god, it was a hell of a walk every morning.
Yeah.
It was a long walk. Got my 10,000 in before I even got on the show floor.
Nice, yeah, and it's a long walk around the show floor.
Yeah. At this point, should we do the news?
Yes.
Let's do the news.
Let's do that. Share screen. Gibson is back in the amp business. The Gibson Falcon amps. Excuse me. So this is you can think of it as a Mezzo-Boogie.
What's the Mezzo-Boogie handle?
Oh, I love it. So that's the Matchless did that. It's the old-fashioned handle, but used to get the Matchless amps with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I love those handles.
Yeah,
I think they look really cool. Yeah, love them. They look really cool. So yeah, they've got a 5-watt version and a 20-watt version. The 5-watt version comes with a 10-inch speaker, and the 20-watt has a 12-inch, both Jensen speakers.
And it's $9 million.
Yeah, no, they're not. Well, so they're 6v6, although you can put 6 L6s in them,
right?
Which is interesting. And they've got reverb built in. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, so the little one I think is about 1,000. Okay, here we go. Okay, the Falcon 5 is $1,500.
Yeah,
and the Falcon 20 is $1,799. Oh, that's different. That's different to what I was told, actually.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that's not too bad for the extra. For the extra unit, for the extra power and the bigger speaker, it's only a few hundred, well, $300 more.
Yeah.
I actually thought the 5 sounded better on the videos.
All right.
People comparing them. I really like the sound of the 5.
Cool.
With a 10-inch, believe it or not, and I'm not normally a 10-inch fan.
Cool.
This is, I don't know what's going on. So Laney have released a 4x12 FR cabinet that's 2,600 watts. And I'm thinking, why? What is the point? Who's going to use that?
The thing is, it's probably 2,600 watts peak. It's not going to be 2,600 watts RMS.
No, yeah, without a doubt.
It's probably a 500 watt FR cabinet, and you need 500 watts to take on
absolutely
a 20 watt guitar amp.
Yeah. Okay, so they partnered with Devin Townsend, who's a fantastic guitar player, obviously.
Amazing guitar.
Yeah, amazing guitar player. I actually prefer him to Steve Vai.
We know his drummer.
Like he did. Oh, do you?
No, we do. You do too. He's been on this show.
Oh.
Darby Todd is his drummer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, who's going to buy that?
Well, Devin Townsend would use it, but he ain't going to buy it. He's going to get given them. Anyone who needs a 4x12 on stage, those three people, they're going to get one.
Yeah. It's just no one uses 4x12s anymore.
No.
If it was a 2x12, I'd go, oh, great, yeah, that's an idea.
Yeah,
somebody, but a 4x12.
Yeah, bizarre.
It's really bizarre. So PRS have done big updates on all their gear.
Right, nice.
They've got these new tuning pegs. I don't know. I mean, it seems bizarre to do a whole video on just why they're doing tuning pegs, but they've got new tuning pegs. Apparently, these are the tuning pegs that Paul Reed Smith designed back in the 80s, and they've now just put them, managed to get them on the guitars. I think they're a bit funny looking, but yeah, interesting. Okay,
nice. Yeah, I can't get excited by tuners, unfortunately.
No, I know. Yeah, okay. So this is the video that I did yesterday. Oh, it's really great. If you get to try one out, highly recommended. Really good. How much are they? I don't even know how much they are. 289.
Yeah, not horrific for a good pedal.
Not cheap. Not cheap. But really good. PRS again. We've got a matte black Silver Sky.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's lovely.
Yeah, it's just a colorway, isn't it? It's just anyway. Vox have released a monstrosity.
Oh my god!
Isn't that horrible?
It's like all the affection of a Vox pear drop with a 1980s boogie box attached.
It's just not right, is it? It's got a speaker. It's got effects built in. That is the most.
It's
bizarre.
So 1978.
It's bizarre.
Revolting.
Who's going to play that? Who's going to buy that?
Nobody.
The shape's all wrong. The technology's all wrong. It's got a drum machine built in as well.
Great. Can't wait.
He looks pissed off. Then you look at him. Look, he's not happy about it. He's
being paid a lot of money to make that sound that good.
Oh, it's a travel guitar. Okay. Oh man, I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on. Hey, we're upsetting a lot of companies just on doing our news, aren't we?
Yeah, great, isn't it? Well done.
I like this. This looks really nice. This is a company called Magneto Guitars. It's the Velvet Deluxe. It's a lightweight Les Paul. I think that looks
awesome.
Great. Doesn't that look great? Sort of half Telly, half Les Paul.
I really like that a lot.
And $1,000.
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah. So they're at NAMM. I'll definitely go and check that out because they look awesome.
Mm.
This I thought it was interesting. So Orange have released a new bass.
Right.
It's a Glenn Hughes bass.
Mm-hmm.
But how good does Glenn Hughes look? How old is he?
He is about 1 million, I think.
Yes, but he looks great, doesn't he?
His face looks all right. His neck looks 1 million.
Yeah, sure.
I love
But,
that's a cool bass. I like that a lot.
He's still Glenn Hughes is still good. He's still got a great voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Awesome. And I don't know, Mura have got 2 new things. They've got an octaver and a harmony machine. Oh, I'm not even gonna
yeah, sure, it'd be lovely.
Yeah, lovely jubbly. Right. That's me done. Oh,
let's power on through. Right, here we go. Boom.
Quincy James says, guys, what's the most affordable but close sounding ODS amplifier out right now? Thing is, it's really hard to say because who's tried an overdrive special?
Well, we might get to it now.
Oh, is he going to be there?
Hopefully they're going to bring it.
Oh, that's exciting. I'd love to play through it. I'd love to play through it. So I mean, I've played through loads of Dumble clones, but I've never played, all Dumble, as we're told, all Dumbles are different anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like the Amplified Nation stuff.
Yeah.
Really good. Really, really good. But there's more budget versions. I'm trying to think you do a budget version of an ODS. Oh, there's a Chinese company that do them. Chinese made. So yeah, red plates are really good.
The red plate we tried. Awesome.
Yeah, good, really good. We also tried some Fuchs stuff. We weren't that keen, but I think there was something wrong with that. It's Clive's amp. I think there was something a bit wrong with that amp. Yeah, I mean, and Two Rock do some. They do the TS1, which I guess is like it. But I like the Amplified Nation stuff.
It does sound very nice.
Yes. Gordon Parrish says, I really do love my modeling and I use it for 99% of my gigs. Nice. But when I plug in my old Marshall 6100 and crank it, it always reminds me of the fun of real amp is. Yeah, it is funny, isn't it? Like we've done it so many times when, James has got a studio where you can crank stuff up and he's got a 4x12 and we stick amps on top of it and it is like, oh, wow, that is exciting. When you plug into an amp.
It's fun because I can let rip on drums. You can do your thing on guitar. Get a bass player in here as well, and it's proper. You get that.
Yeah, it's nice.
You get the feeling of why we do it.
Yeah.
Or why we started doing it.
Guy B, would love to come and try some of those amps out, James. Nice.
Very welcome to come over anytime. But say
bring that guitar with it. It's nice that.
Yeah.
Johnny Love, I remember when Shane in the Blues went from PC to Mac and said his PC was more powerful, but the Mac did what he needed 100 times faster. You couldn't believe it. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, the old adage was that PCs are for accountants, Macs are for creatives. And while it's not 100% true these days, you can do both on both. I think it still holds true.
Tone Dragon, the right answer is Tonix and HX stomped together. Yeah, that's another option, isn't it? Yeah.
And not horrific.
Loads of people that are doing that. Yeah.
Not horrific prices either.
Gordon says, I'm not sure being a new product is the reason to buy something. The most usable and the best should always win. I don't want 2023 unless it's the best option. Yeah, but you also don't want to be buying something that at full price that next week is going to be worth a third of, a third less than what you bought it for.
I mean, I always find those moments of going into a music shop to be forewarned is to be forearmed. So if you know about the other stuff around what you're going to buy, and you know roughly what you need to achieve, and you know the prices, and you know the current whatever, that's when you get a good deal in a music store or online or from the auctions or whatever. When you go in blind and oh, that's great, yeah, click, go. So I had a little bit of that the other day when I went into the drum shop. I went, oh, that sounds nice. Is that a good price? I didn't know if what I was spending was the right money for the drum I bought. It was about right, as it turns out. But you know, a little bit of research it's never a bad thing.
Jamie for good, yes, but Line 6 is constantly releasing new software updates. Yes, absolutely. It still doesn't change the fact that it's older technology that's holding it up. Yeah. But yeah, you know, we're not saying they're not good. Line 6 stuff's great. It's really, really good.
Yep.
Johnny Love, do you know the weight of your Nick Huber pool? Is it chambered or not? I can tell you. I can guess the weight. I'm pretty good at guessing weights. I'd say it's 7.5 pounds. I don't know if it's. I don't think they're chambered. No. So it's not. No, not heavy at all. It's quite not as light as some other guitars, but it isn't like a Les Paul.
No. Or isn't like my Les Paul.
Yeah, your Les Paul weighs a ton. I really like chambered Les Pauls as well. I had one once. It was really good. Gordon Parrish, yeah, absolutely. Although it was released years ago, the new software and engine brings it into 2023. No, it's great. Please don't think we're not saying it's not great. It's great. Question on the i7 laptop. I agree. Get a Mac with the M chip in it. Even the cheapest Mac with the baseline M chip is going to be solid and good. Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Did you keep the Buddha, James? Says Drew Erickson. He said, thinking about picking one up. Seems to bridge the Marshall Vox gap.
The Buddha has gone. But if you have Tonex or you have the Tonex software, you could buy the Buddha patches, and they're very good. I think
they're good.
It was a great amp, but as you say, it bridged the Marshall Vox gap. But I have a really good Marshall and a really good Vox, and I have other things that also sit in that spot. So it had to go. Paul and I did the video, I did the captures, and then it didn't get switched on for 6 months, which is an indication of I don't need it.
Yes. Caesar's Revenge. Have either of you tried the PRS DGT SE that's getting all the rave reviews? I haven't tried one. I had a DGT. It's really good. I heard really good things about the SE. It's really good. 109 viewers on YouTube.
We peaked at we peaked at 122 earlier.
Wow.
Which I think is the highest number we've had.
And then a lot of them have realised we're just talking a bunch of guff, and they've just gone, do you know what?
Someone will find out.
It's true. Circle Mover, you have probably been asked this 1,000 times. What's your favourite distortion pedal? Apologises. Okay, well, let's say, because we got asked what our favourite overdrive pedal was.
Yeah.
James's Marshall Governor is
Marshall Governor. Marshall Governor.
if it is a distortion pedal, it's really good. I love that pedal.
I know it was the first Marshall amp in a pedal, but my God, it's good.
Yeah.
And I'd take the Drive Master in place of the Governor if that's all there was available, because they're the same, other than the loop.
Nice. Steve, hello mate. Steve Cassidy Guitar. He says, hello rats and fellow guitar vermin. Apologies, I'm very late. Steve, you're doing some good numbers on your videos, mate. Well done. Yeah, go and check out Steve's after this. Go and check out Steve Cassidy's guitar channel. He does a great job. He says, Steve, do you have an excuse for your mama?
yo mama.
We're doing yo mum jokes as well now.
Apparently so.
I'm really good at mum jokes. David Quillen says, good evening, fellow from snowy Fort William. -12 when I left work today.
Wow.
Damn. That is
There they
cold. David, Dave, you weren't in last week. I was using your mug and I was giving it my tea. Yes, welcome, David. David's got a company called the Highland Plectrum Company. Go and check him out. He makes fantastic plectrums, and they're available on his Reverb shop. So go and check out the Highland Plectrum Company on Reverb.
David, I appreciate it is quite a long way, but how far in like driving terms are you from Glasgow? Because I'm thinking when I'm up in Glasgow for Cheer, it might be a really cool video to go up and see David and talk plectrums and stuff.
Quite a way.
Yeah, quite a way, but it's a damn sight closer than it is here.
Yeah, well, that's true. Johnny Love, the book I still have is A Complete Guitarist by Richard Chapman. Great for scales, chord harmony, equipment, etc. Nice.
As opposed to, no, I'm not going to go there. I might see him next week.
Hollywood says, if Lee is around, how is he still loving it, or has the mood changed? I haven't spoken to Lee this week, so.
At this point, thank you, Scrunge.
Ralph McTell, thanks, mate.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Right, at this point, we must go ba-boom.
Rumi, thank you very much. The Rats, I scored an amazing Japanese-built Chauvel. Oh, nice. However, the guitar and case reek of cigarettes.
Oh.
Tips to exercise the smell. Oh.
Nasty. What's it called? Febreze.
I guess Febreze might work.
About 7 hours worth of Febreze.
Yeah, I used to have a Japanese Chauvel. I had a couple, actually. They were good. Might be mine. I used to smoke at that point as well. Hollywood actress. Tone Dragon, yes. Tone X and HX Stomp. If the budgets are tight, what about Tone X with the Boss GT1 or another cheap multi-effects for your effects? Nice.
Yeah, that worked.
Michael says Boss GT1 is a solid multi for not too much. Yes, it is. Aaron says, just got another Kemper. Oh, nice. I don't care that it's old and it sounds great with the new liquid profile. As it sounds great with new liquid profiles, and it's one of the only pedals that has a phone and tablet editor. Yeah, nice. Oh, it's great. I mean, I've got Kempers. The Kemper again. It's older technology, but it's great.
If you know what I mean, there are plenty of other phones that have a tablet editor. Never mind. Don't worry. Me being vile in 80s.
Instead of a wheelchair pillow, I have six tube amps, 3 extension cabinets, 9 guitars, 6 pedals, and 0 bandmates. I feel a little ridiculous. Should I trim my collection? No. You're enjoying it, mate. No, that's your thing. That's your thing. And he says, and yet I still want to buy more.
Paul?
Yes.
Can we go to the G3 gig, please?
Why? Oh, Eric Johnson. That'd be good. He's pretty good. Eric Johnson is pretty good.
I'd give body parts to see Eric Johnson live.
Yeah, he's great, isn't he?
Never comes to the UK. Oh. Do you want me to still get tickets?
Well, you can go. You can go. I don't think I'll go.
Can't go on my own. I appreciate David will be there, but
you have a lovely time. Pet says, I'm preaching to the converted, but can you imagine a day when you don't want to play or listen to music? For me, it's a constant and always will be. And great, it's great to be live. I often get days when I don't want to play or listen to music, to be honest. I think when you do it as a job, there's some days I like the last couple of days I've been just going, oh. And then I got in today and I was like, oh, I'm enjoying it. So I think there are days when I don't enjoy it, definitely. James?
I think there are days when I go, oh, but then I'll hear something and it'll be like, oh, yeah. Back up again.
Yeah.
You find a new piece of music, a new track, or my kids have got this thing where they'll ask whichever music player in the car for random words. And random words have generated some really cool music in the car on long journeys.
Awesome.
It's generated some absolute dross as well. But
yeah. Patra Janicki says, sent a wheelchair pillow. Yep, buddy, rocking with my Boss Katana And Strat style guitar, Balaguer. Having time of my life. The difference is my audience is my guitar teacher and my girlfriend. Nice one. So it's even if you just play it yourself, it's worth doing. And you know, if you like it, it's worth doing.
Yeah.
Well done, sir, says Sent.
Yeah.
He says, is there a way a fan could come and see you and say hi if they're in the area without spending a lot of money for a ticket?
We're going to do Sunday evening, probably, a meet and greet drinks thing. And we might, depending on how it goes and what happens, but we'll definitely do it Sunday night after the show, find a quiet bar somewhere away from the stuff. But we'll announce that at the show when we've worked it out a bit more. But yeah, it would be a really good thing to do. If you are in the Southern California area, it'd be great to catch up with people and meet people in real life. But we'll plan that once we get there. As you can imagine, we don't get that side of the world very often, and time is, I know it's 4 days, but it's not long. There's only so many meals you can eat in the evening and only so many bars you can go to for 5 or 6 days. So yeah, we'll plan something for Sunday night, and it'll be good.
Yeah, nice. The Elmwood, my PJD is an elite and an old one with the cream teas. They switched to bare knuckle and now something else. I've heard about some of the quality issues. I got lucky, bought secondhand cheap. Nice.
Great.
There are a bunch of Kempers on Pro Tour still, says Keith. That's very true. Yeah, loads of people use Kempers.
Yeah. Loads of people still use JMP ones.
Yeah. Alan, he says, howdy rats from an icy Alabama.
Wow.
And I didn't realize Alabama got icy. I thought it was always nice over there. Stuck inside the last 3 days. Love the vids. They've kept me sane. Cheers, Alan. Thanks for joining us. David says, Paul, what do you use for drum tracks on your demos? James, on demos, different things, but recently I've been using Logic Drummer. It's great. It doesn't play when you don't want it to. As I put in another comment, someone asked the same question. It does. You don't have to make it a cup of tea and then it drinks half of it and then leaves it, then asks for another one, then leaves half of that, then asks for another one, and then when they go, you have to carry 3 of their cups out with half drunk cups of tea. That sort of thing. Logic Drum is great.
Not I'm going to go there. Not going to go there.
Hollywood. Gordon, if it suits your playing and sound. Oh, but I do use, when we do songs and stuff, James, yes, it's always live drums with James. Gordon, if it suits your playing and sound, do you know how to dial in a decent tone? Keep the helix. On that Nuno interview link I posted, he's still using the Bosch GT8 and Marshall Head. Wow.
Yeah.
Nuno's great, isn't he? But Nuno could,
Nuno could play through one of those tiny little Brian May things and it would still sound like Nuno. And Brian May would go, yeah.
Nuno's just amazing. Nuno used that setup for the worldwide Rihanna tour too. Yeah. He's just great.
Bit of a potty mouth though, isn't he?
Oh, he's a right potty mouth. Yeah, it's too much. Just control it.
Yeah.
Johnny says, watched a good Gambale interview recently where he said one of the best books he bought when he was young was a drummer book to practice all sorts of rhythm playing on guitar. Interesting.
I love a bit of Frank Gambale though. I really do. He's got a terrible singing voice because I've got all his solo. I've got his early solo albums as well. But yeah.
Avoid the Nampires and the Nam flu.
You know, it's not called Nam flu, Alan. It's called Namthrax.
Yeah, Namthrax. What's the Nampires?
I'm guessing it's the Saturday rock and roll chicks. Rock and roll Saturday is always hilarious because you get the guitar gods and their how can I say this delicately? Slightly slutty looking girlfriends.
That's not very delicate. That's not delicate. I remember one year I went. Do you remember that company that used to make guitar cases
that look like coffins?
And then the whole people that worked for it, they were all just like Ian Vampire and
We're all gothed up, yeah, and the girls with the 15-inch platforms, and yes,
Yeah.
love that booth.
Yeah. $1,400 for a champ. What's the question? Where are we? What was David's question?
I find no reference, but yeah, an old one. You'd be lucky to get an old one for 1,400.
Yeah, champs. The little champ that I that was great. Oh, great sounding little lamp.
Mm.
Oh, I see. No, David. So David's commenting on the Gibson amp.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I see. Yes, you're right, David. Get it. Yeah. Alan said, highly suspected amps made by Boogie. I need gunshots. Yeah, it's funny. It is funny that Boogie would come out with that would be involved with that. I think it's quite a simple amp, and Boogies are known for their complexity and stuff, but I think they sound great. Alan says, "What's that Laney weigh?"
The same as a small moon, I suspect.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be quite heavy. Devin is an artist. He definitely is. He's awesome.
Very nice chap as well.
That Vox looks like Walmart first act. Yes, first act guitars.
Yes. Oh God.
Yes, it's wrong, isn't it?
Horrendous.
Aristotle's, every backline company will buy the cabinet because heavy bands use Kempers on stage, which the backline company is renting also for festivals and metal concerts. By the way, the Laney has an IR loader. Yeah, it does. But an IR loader in a cabinet.
That's going to mean everyone using it is going to have. Well, I suppose they'll have had to.
It's just bizarre.
It's a problem. It's a solution looking for a problem.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but yeah, I get it. I get it for for big concerts, but they're not. It's priced quite reasonably. It's not priced for pro band.
Problem is, if you're a pro band, if you're a big band, a big act, and you're going on tour, and you've got the budget and the space on stage for 2 4x12s, guess what you're going to have? 2 4x12s with heads on, probably, because you can. Because, as we've said so many times, it's way more fun.
I think, loads of heavy bands now, if they're using Kempers, they're using Axe-Effects, blah blah blah, they're also using wedges or in-ears. Most bands are using in-ears now. So the point of having a 4x12 behind you when you're using in-ears renders the point of having a 4x12.
The only reason to have a 4x12 is for feedback moments, for that kind of on stage, because you're not going to get that through in-ears.
No.
And that's why someone like Petrucci has, when the tour allows them to have speakers on stage, etc., etc. I mean, and because that's a huge part of it these days. Unless you are Iron Maiden and you take your own plane,
the
cost of flying gear around is just it's cost prohibitive to touring. That's why people use Kempers and Axe-Effects and all that sort of stuff.
Mike says Beck is going to buy that Vox Lo-Fi. Yeah. I bet the drum machine on the Vox sounds amazing, says Steve. Mike says, are there any guitars full size and working order you can use as a fridge magnet?
I think we found one. Dermot, test works.
Test. Amanda Rocks, have a great NAMM trip and looking forward to the live footage. New will be Valhalla Amplification UK. What? Would be great if you could meet up with Freyet 2 around, but not exhibiting. Valhalla Amplification. I have to look at that.
Yeah, definitely. Hang on. Do hold. I've got my NAMM app here. I can find out which
Valhalla Amplification.
Booth they're on. Find if they're on a booth.
But you do that, and I'll move on. Darren, he says, can you control preset selection via MIDI in a DAW? on the PT100 plugin, like you can in your plugins. I wouldn't use
How amplification 4647. Good numbers.
Nice. If it's MIDI, I don't know on the PT100. If it's most plugins, everything's MIDI switchable, so everything has a MIDI CC number. So I would imagine so, but I can't say for definite, I'm afraid, mate. Let us know if you work it out. Also, Geddon says the Gibson Falcon 20 is 12 watts and the Falcon 5 is 7 watts. I think it's got a 12 watt switch. I thought the Falcon 20 is 20 and it's got 20, 12, 7 and 1 watt. That's what I thought it was. But I could be wrong. Dermot says, do you look at Dolman guitars? Custom built in Ireland by Pat Beasley. Unbelievable guitars and bass guitars are built to the high spec and high-end quality finish. This is the new PRS. I've never heard of them.
Nope.
I think it must be really hard for guitar manufacturers. They need to get them out. You need to get them out to YouTubers or whatever like that, just to get the word out there, because it must be really hard to keep on playing. Hey, you too. Did you know how much decibel increase do you need from getting from instrument level to line level? Oh God, I don't know.
It's nothing to do with dBs. It's voltage.
Oh,
it's actual voltage. It's not gain. It's a different different voltage, different impedance. The actual numbers I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I'm sure there will be. It's certainly Googleable.
Nice. Keith says, I know your schedule is limited in LA. Alan Hines will be the baked potato.
The problem with the baked potato is it's because it's only 150 odd capacity. It sells out in about 3.5 minutes.
I was going to see, and Alan Hines, I think he uses red plates as well. Actually,
I'd love to go and see Luther there with Nerve Bundle.
Yeah,
Nerve Bundle, or as was Lost Lobotomies.
Mm-hmm. No problem, Steve. Thanks for coming along. Jim says, what would you recommend for a Marshall Plexitone in the stomp box pedal? I really struggle with those sort of amp in a box style pedals, because I think it depends what amp you're going into as well. I don't think any amp in a box pedal changes the character of an amp. It's fine if it's going into like, a pedal platform amp, something like the Wampler pedal platform amp that he released.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know of any Plexi stomp box pedals. James?
I don't, to be honest. I really don't. No, sorry, can't help.
Sorry, yeah. Let us know. Yeah, if you get any good tips, let us know. Jeff says that 2,600 watt Laney FR Monster is 650 watts.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah. See, that's what they should be. I mean, even 650 watts is still a lot, but they should put in 2,600 watts. It's stupid.
That's Chinese.
See that?
It's Chinese marketing.
It's just ridiculous.
But actually, 650 watts for a monitor is not very much.
No, it's not, is it?
Because if you had a couple of the old Martin wavefront monitors, they were 2,000 watts a box.
Yeah.
They weighed, the same amount as a ton of, well, a ton of anything. Because a ton is a ton. But they were pokey. I'd rather have a decent pair of active monitors. I really would.
In an interview a few years ago, Eric Johnson told Rick Beato that he watches YouTube videos of 13-year-olds playing Cliffs of Dover better than he does. I doubt that. I doubt anyone can play Cliffs of Dover better than he can.
But my argument to all of those sort of things is yes, because those 13-year-olds can practice and practice and practice and practice. Eric Johnson came up with it. He wrote it. That's the genius. You know,
Yeah,
there are
yeah,
better guitar players out there than Brian May, but Brian May wrote the stuff.
Oh yeah, it's a classic thing. A lot like guitar player that watches. I don't know, Steve
Satch,
Lukather,
whoever. You know.
if you want, yeah, if you want, and then jokes that he can play it better and faster, and it's great. But that's what you're doing. You've learnt that rote.
Yeah.
All right, it's not the same thing.
And Eric Johnson doesn't play Clifford Dover the same way twice.
No.
I mean, I've seen hundreds of recordings of him playing it, and it's never the same. It's beautiful.
Faster than an arrow, Gambale's lyrical prowess.
Faster than an arrow. Oh God, it's awful. I mean,
Is it? I don't want to hear. I don't even want that.
I'll let you hear some when we get to.
No. Yogi says, love the latest vids of the Marshall Rack and the Walrus Fuzz. You made me want a Nick Huber. Cheers, Yogi. Yeah, be nice if Nick Huber just, you know, if Huber Guitars got in contact, said, "Oh, cheers for doing a video."
Yeah.
Vinny, hello mate. He says, "Hey gents, new gear inbound. Thwart, oh nice. Thwart Mod 84 amp and Frank Brothers Arcade thin line. No F hole option. Sadly, we're shut while I'm at NAMM. Shame, mate. Shame you couldn't bring it with you."
Vinny, reach out to us because we should definitely hook up at the show and stuff.
He would be able to contact.
Definitely.
Johnny Love, come on, guys and gals, please hit the likes to show support the effort Paul and James put in every week. It really helps. Cheers, Johnny.
It really does.
Yeah, give us a like if you're liking it. It really,
great.
Really does.
It'd be amazing if we could bust the 80,000 before Christmas. Not before Christmas. Not before Christmas. before NAMM.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Before Christmas. God.
Michael says Boogie has problems with power supply units. Need to procure alternative that fits in the units. Oh, interesting.
That would make a lot of sense, actually.
If you play guitar, you'll never be short of a friend, isn't that so? Yes, I think so. I think it's a good barrier breakdown.
The other one I like is get your kids into music, because that way they'll never be able to afford drugs.
Jeff Cook says Gibson Falcon is 12 watts. Switch down to 501. Oh, okay. Apologies. Thing is, like 12 watts. Like I had a Matches Lightning that was 15. I got told I couldn't even get it past 1 on the dial. I got told to turn it down at a gig. John McWade, Keeley El Ray Dorado for a plexi type sound. There we go. Nice. Cheers, John. Dave says, cheers, mate. Safe travels broadcasting live.
Yes, we will. Definitely will. I know we've said this already, but we're going to be doing the live. We'll do the live show from the show floor, 5 p.m. Pacific on Saturday and 4 p.m. Pacific on Sunday. And we'll get some mates along, and we'll get some people we've spoken to at the show along, and there might be beer. Who knows?
Dave says Marshall Stompbox, Dry Bell, the Engine, UA Lion, Red Rocks by Dawn of Prince. Nice. Cheers, Dave.
See, no, I can't say it. I'm not gonna say it. Moving on.
No. Jeff Cook, I've always played the guitar and never had any friends. Am I doing something wrong? Oh, what? Nice one, Shahar. Shahar got £1,000 gift certificate for Sweetwater. Ordered the new PRS DGT SE. Well done, mate. Congratulations. Pet says there's an add-on to get your kids into music. They won't turn into CU yet, despite their inclination for Oasis.
Definitely.
Vox pedals, I guess, any good? Never tried any. No. Hi, Joe. Hope you're well. John Wade, our Nash guitars at NAMM. Just ordered a T52. Nice. And it's going to take a year. Could you put in a good word? Wow, a year.
We've tried Nash guitars, haven't we? And they were nice.
I don't think I've ever tried Nash.
Have you not?
No, they're
Scottish
good.
guitar you tried?
Oh, what's that?
Are they Scottish?
No, the American.
What was the one you tried? They were Scottish. Well, it was 2 years ago, so I'm not surprised we can't remember. But I'm sure there was a really nice Strat type guitar that you grey one in Hall E downstairs that you tried, and we went, "Oh, that's nice."
Scottish.
I'm sure they were Scottish. Okay, maybe I'm losing the plot.
I think Alan said, "Woohoo!" on the live broadcast. Wish I could be there. They killed Summer NAMM in Nashville. Love going to see people like you more than gear.
Because I fancied Summer NAMM. I fancied Nashville for Summer NAMM, but
yeah, I'd prefer to go to that as well, Alan. Yeah, I really fancy Nashville. David says apparently you can switch the CV6 power tube for 6L6 to slightly increase the wattage of the new Gibson amps. Nice. Pet says great as always. Enjoy America, lads, and see you on the flip side. Cheers, Pet.
We will do. So no show next Wednesday because obviously we will have just been traveling and we'll just be getting acclimatized to that America. But we will be doing, as I've just said, we'll do the live show Saturday evening, which will be.
I've got an idea.
Pacific time.
We could do something on the plane. We could film. If there's any questions, we could do a Q&A, not live, and then post when we get off the plane.
Oh, the person sitting next to us would love that.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
We'll see. We might put something out, but it definitely won't be the live show on Wednesday night. But we will be doing live show on Saturday and Sunday live from the NAMM trade show floor. Thanks for joining us tonight. As ever, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell. All the stuff we asked to do. I nearly sat down as my chair was rolling away. That would have been bad, wouldn't it? We will see you from sunny California, and I wish they all could be California girls. There's a song lyric there somewhere. Good night, everyone. See you soon. Take care, and see you on the other side. Bye.